Obviously, a tale of two halves for our team today. Very stagnant on both ends of the floor to start the game. I think a little bit that was poor coaching, a little bit on my part on trying to do some different things today and maybe work in some areas we haven't been good. And we just struggled on both ends. We couldn't make shots, and that really hurt us on the defensive end. Our intensity and not being very assignment correct was an issue in the first and second quarter. But then I was really happy to see our team respond at halftime and turn the game around and start making plays they're capable of making. It was just much more efficient on both ends of the floor.
First half, how do you coach a player that is coming into the second half cold and get her to be sort of that stable force for you down low in the second half? In the first half, she didn't really have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I challenged Emily at halftime. Both of her fouls were unnecessary fouls that she got in the first half. There's an illegal screen and then an over the back in a game where we talked about coming in, let's don't get any of those silly ones. Because we thought, obviously, with the matchup that she was going to have a chance. Like Emily's going to have a chance in a lot of games to be a dominant post player for us. And not having that outlet in the first half of a go-to guy in the block to just make things easier for everybody else hurt us on the offensive end. And obviously establishing her in the third quarter opened things up for a lot of other people as well.
You mentioned having her down in the block kind of opened things up for everybody else. Talk a little bit about how that works within your offense. How does everybody else benefit from somebody like that down low that's able to?
Well, when you can score a one-on-one in the post, a lot of people are going away from low post players. I like low post players. When you can score one-on-one in the block, people either let you do that or they have to bring some help from somewhere or they have to front you and not let you try to catch it. All those things you do takes pressure off people on the perimeter in one way or the other. And Emily's going to end up being a really dominant player for us, I think. She's going to get better at passing out of the double team. But they kind of had a soft double tonight. She was still able to shoot it with some people around her just because of her size advantage. But eventually that's going to help people like Michelle and Ryan get open shots on the perimeter and Sophia, freeing up for some kick-out drives and things like that.
Continue to rebound the ball well, especially on the offensive end. Is that something you think you can kind of tap into or continue to make that an emphasis as you head toward conference play?
Yeah, that's one of my biggest emphases this year was rebounding and what the margin is. For me, that's one of the areas of the game that's a toughness stat. If you're willing to do it, if you have the mentality to do it, you can be a good box-out team and a good rebounding team. I think we're top 50 in the country in defensive rebounding percentage right now and almost getting 8 out of 10 misses that other teams are shooting. That's something we need to continue to hang our hat on. We're not a good enough team to give up second chances to other people. So when we do force a contested shot and get a miss, it's pretty important for us that we secure the ball and not get them multiple opportunities to score.
Conversation at halftime to kind of get them out to a fast start in the second half.
I don't know if it's appropriate for the microphone. No, it wasn't that bad. Usually we go in, we write some things on the board and talk about some adjustments basketball-wise. We didn't talk about anything specifically X and O or position or what defense or any of that stuff. It was really just a conversation about how we're playing, how can we get it changed, and what we can do to be a little bit better.
18% in the second quarter, up to 63% field goal percentage. Is that a product of just having that flow back with your offense getting deep back in?
It was. And people getting shots they're used to getting and expecting to get and knowing that it may be coming on the next pass. And there was just a comfort level probably with what we were doing in the second half. Not that the first half we had wide open shots, but that's been an issue for us this year on finishing some of those plays where some of them are uncontested and we don't have a bunch of knockdown players right now. We have people that are capable and we hope we'll get that way. But on a day where you're not making them, getting into what we got into in the second half just let us be a little more fluid.
Last question for you, Coach. How do you take a game like this where you guys kind of get to work on some things and look good in the second half against an opponent like Mayville State? How do you carry that forward into the holiday break and then also into conference play eventually?
Well, that's something, playing the team today, Mayville, who's a very, very good NAIA team, top 25 team. They have some nice players and are very well coached in what they do. They execute tremendously well. and then Waldorf next week. Obviously, no disrespect, but we're supposed to be the better team. And despite that, seeing the ball go in never hurt anybody's confidence, regardless of who you're playing. When you can make positive plays, that's how you gain confidence. We have some people that aren't confident right now, and that's not something I can give you. Confidence comes from achieving something, from some sort of demonstrated achievement that you did. And being able to do that here these next couple games hopefully gives us some momentum going into the 29th and into conference play.
In the first half, 2 points, 20 points in the second half.
Explain yourself.
What happened?
Explain myself.
Yeah.
Well, I got in foul trouble pretty early, so I guess they were just being smart about keeping me on the bench in the first half. And then the conversation at halftime is being a player that's been consistent before, I needed to step up and do that for us. And so I just made sure in the second half that I was smart with my fouls so that I could stay in the game and, do the work that I'm supposed to do for our team.
Can't get out there and play during the first half and can't kind of get into rhythm. What is that like coming out in the second half, having to kind of come in cold and still step up to be that solid force for your team?
It is a little bit difficult just like physically, but I get up and down a couple of trips and I'm pretty much in the rhythm of things. It's not too bad. And we've been so consistent about looking for me in the post, in practice and in different games. So I knew that it was coming and I was ready for it.
When Emily's kind of clicking like she was in the post with her footwork and when she's hitting shots down there, what does that open up on the perimeter for you guys?
Pretty much everything, really, because if they want to take her away, they need to double her, and that means that they will always be one person short on the perimeter, which always leaves one of us open. So, her presence in the paint is really important for us.
Struggled shooting the ball in the first half. What did Coach talk about at halftime to kind of get you out and get you going in the second half to a fast start?
I don't think we were really dialed in the first half. We were taking, quick shots that we don't usually work on just because I think they kind of forced us into a faster pace than we were used to, and we didn't share the ball well. But in the second half, I thought that we came out strong and just focused on our game and on what we do every day in practice, and that's what really worked for us.
A game like this against an opponent like Mayville State and kind of take that forward into the holiday break and then eventually into conference play.
Yeah. Well, especially in the first half, we have to limit the mental lapse right away. That can happen against any team, and just taking a look in the mirror and figuring out personally, what you need to do to stay mentally locked in and get there right away is something that we talked about, and it needs to be a constant conversation amongst coming into conference play. And then the second half, we're going to look at film and, see what we did well, see what we did, kept it simple a few times, and sometimes that's the answer. So just continuing to learn from our mistakes, learn from the positives in the game, I think is going to really help us coming into conference play.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.